Welcome to the What If Ask AI channel. On this channel, we ask multiple AI services what if questions. The what if questions was made back in my childhood when I was asked to put all my questions in a binder because my family was tired of me asking them all the questions I had in mind. Now, later in the future, I'm taking the questions I made from my childhood and asking the AI services the questions and reviewing and judging their responses. I hope you enjoy this channel.
Welcome back to the What If Ask AI channel, and today we're looking at this question. What if there was no trees in your yard? As always, I have two sample questions that have answers to help give the AI services something that I'm looking for. And then also, I'm using the following AI services today: ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, Perplexity, and Meta AI. So without further ado, let's see what ChatGPT's answer is to this question. What if there was no trees in your yard? So ChatGPT's answer is that would probably make your yard feel a lot more open, but also a bit less lively. You'd miss out on shade, the sound of leaves in the wind, and maybe even fewer birds or squirrels visiting. It might be easier to maintain, though, since you wouldn't have to deal with falling leaves or branches. Now let's see what Copilot's response to the question is. So Copilot's response is, I'd say your yard would feel a lot more open, but you would miss the shade and the way trees make a space feel alive. Now let's see what Gemini's response is. So Gemini's response is the following. Since I'm an AI, I don't actually have a physical yard to call my own. My landscape is mostly made of code and servers. But if we're speaking hypothetically, I'd say it would be a bit of a bummer. It would definitely make for a less scenic view and a lot less shade for my digital thoughts. Now let's see what Perplexity's response to the question is. It would probably feel a bit empty, and you might miss the shade and the natural look they bring. And then let's see what Meta AI's response to the question is. Okay, so I have an update on the Meta AI services. I'm not able to log in. I don't want to log in when I ask these questions. So I'm going to be using another service for this episode, and that's going to be Duck AI. But I'm just going to ask it the same question that I asked the other AI services, and I'm going to see what its response to the question is. Okay, so here is the answer Duck AI replied with. If there were no trees in your yard, your yard would be noticeably hotter in summer without shade. Surfaces, which is deck and pavement, would absorb more heat. Comfort, less comfortable outdoor space, fewer cool spots for sitting, playing, or gardening. Energy, your home could use more air conditioning in warm months if trees currently shade windows or the roof. Privacy and noise, reduced privacy and increased noise from neighbors or street without tree buffers. Wildlife, fewer birds, insects, and small mammals visiting or nesting in your yard. Erosion and drainage, higher risk of soil erosion and faster stormwater runoff because tree roots help hold soil and absorb water. Air quality and carbon, local air would lose a natural filter, slightly worse air quality and less local carbon sequestration. Aesthetics and property value, yard would look more open and possibly less attractive. Mature trees often raise property values. Maintenance, fewer leaves to rake and limbs to prune, but more lawn care exposure. Sun can dry out grass. long-term ecosystem, less shade-tolerant plant growth, altered microclimate, replacing trees with lawns or paving can increase urban heat island effects. Okay, now that I've gotten some time to reflect on the questions, I'm going to be doing my ranking of the AI services, 5 being the worst and 1 being the best. So my number 5 is Duck AI, and for a few reasons. One, this was by inconvenience of Meta AI not working, so I felt like it really shouldn't have been judged here. And then also, I felt like it provided too much information and not really in the form of a question or a form of a response to the question. So that's why I put Duck AI as 5. For number 4, I put Copilot, and that's because, in my opinion, I feel like it only provided like little information. It's like your yard would feel a lot more open, and then it said you might like miss the shade in the way trees make a space feel alive. And then Perplexity 3, again, little information, but I feel like it had a little bit more better choice of words, so like a bit empty, then miss the shade and the natural look they bring. And then 2, Gemini. I liked how it said, the reason I put it as number 2 is because I like how it said it's that it doesn't have a physical yard. So again, all the AI services kind of answer the question, but this one acknowledged that I'll never really experience how it is to have a physical yard because I'm not real. And then it also mentioned that I like how it said it'd be less of a scenic view. So I like that choice of words there. So that's why I put it as number 2. And then number 1, I put ChatGPT. And I felt like ChatGPT included 3 sentences that went over the pros and cons of having no trees. So like your yard would be a lot more open, but less lively. And then you would miss out on the shade, the sense of leaves in the wind. And then it might be easier to maintain. That's a pro. So I like how it had its pros and cons in there. So again, my choice for the AI services this episode is Duck AI is 5, Copilot is 4, Perplexity is 3, Gemini is 2, and ChatGPT is 1. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.